Did the military ban aura glasses during the Vietnam War because soldiers were seeing demons during battle?
If you have a spare $20,000 to reside in your house and walk around and do your chores and be your friend. Now, they have put quite a lot of effort into the marketing to make sure that you do not feel threatened.
My Alexa tells me to have a good shower, but how does it know that I'm about to take a shower if it can't see me?
Nobody wants their face scanned, and with all the new AI technology, things that are coming to where your vehicle could be potentially disabled, it could leave you on the road, there's a lot of people that are fearing that and they don't want their lives invaded.
Hey babes, I'm Unique D and I am so happy you are here with me. We're getting into some videos today about how technology has gone a little bit too far. But before we dive in, myself and the algorithm would love if you would watch the video from start to finish, leave a like if you enjoy, and then if you get to the end and say, hey, I think I like it here, may want to come back and hang out again, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. One thing I always have is my Rice Coffee, and today we have Mike Wazowski with his one big eye, because one thing technology is going to do is keep an eye on us. Also, shout out to AC, who I ran into over the weekend. If you guys ever see me out, please say hi. That made my day. This first video is actually what made me want to do this topic. It is a video of people who've noticed that they can see people, animal, etc. on their Tesla cameras that aren't there. So either Tesla is mistaking other things for people, or there are some entities, spirits, whatever you want to call them, out there, and Tesla cameras are able to pick it up.
Yeah, I don't see nothing.
Look at him!
Whoa, though, that is a dress.
Look at that dress!
What?
No, it's there! No, it's there!
No, I feel bad for the dogs. Is that a horse?
What is that?
Look at these people. Ain't nobody out here.
Walking to the Salt Lake.
Oh, there he is! He's walking in front.
Oh my gosh!
There he is!
There's like two. There was two. Oh my god.
I just saw one right there! Oh, it's right there! We're going to it!
Yeah, look how many people is showing right
And look
here.
at the bike.
It's only one person right here.
There is no one on a bike. There is no more than... Where are all these people?
Bro, it's saying somebody's right here. But when you look, nobody's right there.
So this is that freaky shit I'm talking about. There's no one in front of the car.
So Tesla car is detecting that there is a person in front of us.
At the cemetery, see if we can find ghosts on the thing. You see the ghost?
What? That's
Right
it?
there.
No, what?
He listening to Drake. I had to cut the music out, but...
Oh, they got horses and stuff out here and dogs. You see the ghost?
Yeah. I want to see.
Whoa, that's crazy. And ain't nobody even out here. And it's a man right there. But ain't nobody over there. They got horses. They got dogs.
Oh my.
And ain't nobody out here walking, but...
I want to see.
Hold on. You see all them people? Look. Ain't nobody even over there.
My God.
You see it?
Yes.
Oh, that's crazy.
I do not know ghost reaction. Yo.
That's crazy. There's two people right there.
Or maybe it's touch.
I'm looking at this a lot of different ways, guys. You know, when I see stuff like this, my brain is just like, what is happening? Why is it happening? And if this technology is really picking up those spirits from either other dimensions, past lives, whatever the case may be, is this desensitizing us? Because I believe a lot of technologies that are put out are not new technologies. And I don't think that this was tested and nobody that tested it noticed this. Someone that tested this noticed this. Is this an opportunity for us to become more desensitized with the idea that there are other realms intertwined with ours, you notice this is not a one off incident. This is different people, different situations, different cars. A lot of it is happening near cemeteries, but it's also happening in other random places. And that's what's so scary. And it's not just people, it's animals too. So, how is the technology able to decipher the difference between maybe some sort of energy as a person or an animal? And how did they see somebody on a bike? If any of you drive a Tesla, have you noticed this phenomenon before?
So we've all seen this video where the Tesla's driving through the cemetery and there's people showing.
Professional psychic medium here and also self-taught paranormal scientist. Why is this happening? Why is this happening with these Tesla vehicles? Why? Well, let me tell you. So remember, your eyes, your ears, your nose, all your senses are made for this physical reality. And just like cameras, audio recorders, anything like that, pick up on different wavelengths of light, frequency, sound, and energy. So I just want to let you know that there are spirits and ghosts everywhere. In fact, there's one right here. And right here, and right here. And it's because I'm about to start sessions. But in cemeteries, it's always the middle or lower vibrational spirits that are there, meaning people that had a lot of like, oh, I wish I should have, could have done this in life. People that took their own life, people that were murdered, all those different things. Sorry, I can't say the real word on here. Anyways, and so they're just hanging around, like trying to figure out how to find the light. Well, in fact, they have to find it within. Anyways, it's interesting that they caught one coming up to the car because remember, you on the other side look like a light. Like a light. So think of like a moth to a flame. You are said flame, they are said moth, and they are coming to you to try to talk and to try to pick up on your energy so that they can find the light themselves. Now, is this bad? No, but you can get nauseous. You can start to get like random images in your brain. You can start to feel the way that they felt. So if you're like having a really good day and all of a sudden you get depressed and you're like, why? Where did this come from? Spirit.
All right, guys, so this is the cemetery my dad's buried in. As you see right here, I'm driving right now. People were saying like, hey, tombstones are picking up like people. But look, there's a tombstone that looks like a person, right? But it's not picking up anybody. Right there. Oops. Right there. It's not picking up anybody, right? Nope. I'm gonna drive around a bit, show you that, no, it's not all the places. You know, it's not picking up just random people, you know, or whatnot. See right here, it should pick up like all those right there, like those people, right? Nothing. I'm right in front of it. Nothing. So apparently, see? Someone over there? I don't see nobody. Do you people? Do you see anybody? Nope. There's absolutely nobody here. But this saying is somebody's there.
I noticed something, guys, and I don't know if you guys noticed this too. He went to the area where a lot of new burials are, and you see a lot of like flowers and stuff like that marking the graves. I don't know if it's because it was a recent holiday and, you know, a lot of people bring flowers to their relatives, or if, like I said, this is where a lot of new people are buried who are still kind of hovering back and forth in between here and whatever the afterlife is. So that's why he's able to pick up on so many of them in that area. I don't know what to make of this, guys, but it was super interesting to me and I wanted to share it with you all. There used to be a technology that they presented to the military, and this is alleged, but they had to stop letting them use this equipment because they were able to pick up on either spirits, demons, whatever they were, through these night vision goggles. I want to see if we can find a video on that.
These were night vision goggles were given to many of the soldiers on helicopters, but the pilots and the officers were under strict orders not to wear these goggles under any circumstances. Red night vision goggles are being given to troops, most of which are on helicopters, and at first they're a real big hit. Soldiers love them, but then about a week after wearing the red night vision goggles, the soldiers' behavior started changing radically. The men who wore them started staring at things that, quote unquote, were not there.
Did the military ban aura glasses during the Vietnam War because soldiers were seeing demons during battle? So the story goes like this. Experimental night vision goggles used a rare chemical dye to unlock a hidden light spectrum, and that allowed soldiers to see terrifying things. The soldiers went mad and reported seeing winged creatures among other terrifying figures. And so the military stopped using those new night vision goggles. Now, this all goes back to a book written in 1911 by a London physician who said he invented glasses that were coated with a coal tar dye that allowed people to see human auras. While soldiers in Vietnam did say they saw things like demons and monsters and other creatures, military records say that it was an optical illusion, that it was caused by the extreme stress of combat, sleep deprivation, and perhaps looking through those new night vision goggles. Apparently, the physician's aura glasses were never used, nor were the night vision goggles coated with that chemical dye that the doctor used. That part of the story is just an internet rumor. But not the demons. The soldiers did report seeing demons and other scary things, so that part is true.
How many times have we been made to look foolish by believing what the government told us, and then come to find out decades later they tell us something completely different, and oh yeah, we were lying to you for your own good. So we can believe that they weren't giving those soldiers those goggles. There are some things that go on, and you guys know, people with military family, um, anybody with people that are close to them in the military, there's some stuff that goes on that we will never know the truth. If you guys have been in the military, I would be curious to know what you are able to share about some of the experiences that you had that are almost beyond belief. Because that story about them having the goggles and seeing the demons, seeing this Tesla technology, of course I would believe it. I mean, why wouldn't I? These technologies are presented first to government and then to the people. And we get it way after the technology has already been advanced, perfected, etc., etc. And then we get the old versions of it in the public. We don't get the stuff that they're actually working on right now. Now let's see what military technology is up to right now, or at least what they're showing us.
Behind me is an extremely advanced military helmet, and a lot of people are commenting on the fact that it looks like it has little cat ears. I'm more interested in the actual technology itself and what it's more capable of. This thing has a legitimate heads-up display that shows you a mini-map, a HUD, everything you need to know. It scans the environment in real time with infrared, night vision, and other types of light in order to give you a comprehensive breakdown of everything in the scene. This is a legitimate video game heads-up display in real life. You can see a mini map right here that is probably linked to some sort of GPS tracker. It'll display other things like the temperature of the area as well as like potential people in the area. This right here is an image of a person being outlined and detected by the system. This type of stuff is straight out of science fiction. It's literally video games come to life. I only have two questions at this point. One, when can I buy one? And two, if this is being released to the public now, what kind of technology do they have that we just don't know about?
Yep, exactly what I was just saying. If we're seeing this technology and they're willing to present it to us, imagine what type of technology is actually in the works.
Watch this. Look at that face. A 7-foot-tall robot with a goat head and glowing eyes. Oh, and it can also carry a chainsaw. I'm sure nothing feels weird or demonic about this whatsoever. A company called Satris is building a robot called 3 Halves, and they're saying it's designed to keep people out of harm's way by going into places that are too dangerous for humans. Things like wildfires and collapsing buildings. Now just imagine being stuck in a wildfire and this thing shows up and says, "I'm here to save you." Because why does it need a goat head and horns? Well, people were asking the same question and the company responded with this. They said the horns have wide-angle cameras in them which allow us to see the positions of the legs and arms. But that still doesn't explain why it needs to look like that. Also, because of the size of the horns, the robot can't fit through standard American-sized doorways. Also, 3 Halves doesn't have any hands. It has a quick disconnect wrist system. It can swap out tools like a chainsaw or a drill. And I took this screenshot from their own website, and it literally says this robot is more dangerous than it looks. But don't worry, because if you were ever in a situation where you need to stop it, they show you its weak points in case you need to do so. Now, why would this company put out a manual on how to stop it? At some point, you have to stop asking whether they could have designed it differently and start asking why they didn't. They expect people to trust AI and robots. Then they build a 7-foot-tall goat-headed machine with a chainsaw. Once you see it, you can't unsee it.
Symbolism, first and foremost. So they want you to know that there is some sort of underlying evil intent, and we're building it to save you, but it can also destroy you at a moment's notice. What? And just in case you need to stop it. Like, so at this point, we need to have a manual on how to survive technology, and there's going to be different points for different machines. So you kind of got to have a book of how to deal with every machine that's coming at you. This is insane, guys. I'm not so much worried about the abilities, the capabilities that the technologies have, but who's controlling them, who's building them, who's using this technology for what. We need to start doing wellness checks on programmers. We need to start doing, just like when you go to buy a firearm, you have to fit certain criteria. Well, I know here in Ohio you do. You send off this application, and then if it gets denied, you don't get the firearm. It has to get approved. We need to start checking programmers to see if they're qualified to be programming machines that could possibly be detrimental. Because I don't trust that thing at all. And I know that could have been designed so many different ways. Now, this says this is the scariest AI technology that I've ever seen. Let's see if they are correct.
Here is 3 grams of shaped explosive. This is how it works. Did you see that?
Hold up. Do y'all hear the audience? The audience is like, oh, wow, yes. Oh, cheer. What? All it takes is for you to lose, or for him to lose a poker game and have one of those in his pockets and have had too much to drink. People aren't thinking about the long-term day-to-day effects of this technology, because eventually that's going to fall out of the big tech gurus and the weapons designers' hands and fall down to the public. And that's when it gets dangerous.
That little bang is enough to penetrate the skull and destroy the content.
He said destroy the what? Because he didn't call it a person. And that's another problem.
Destroy the content.
Oh, destroy the contents. The contents of the skull. Like there's not a whole person attached to that. Yeah, that's promising.
Would you feel comfortable with this thing residing in your house? What if I told you it was 5'6"? Would that make you more or less comfortable?
Less. Because that's probably taller than everybody in my house. My family is not tall. 5'6" is a giant in my house.
This is not a new and upcoming horror movie. This is something you can buy right now if you have a spare $20,000 to reside in your house and walk around and do your chores and be your friend. Now, they have put quite a lot of effort into the marketing to make sure that you do not feel threatened by it.
Okay, sorry to pause again, but did y'all hear that Jim Carrey is doing a new version, live action Jetsons? And I'm excited to see that, because the Jetsons and like Star Trek, they were all about how future technology is supposed to be, but to look back at what we thought the future was going to be back then is going to be a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to that Jetsons movie, even though everybody says Jim Carrey is a clone. I'm still looking forward to the movie.
I want you to know it is light, it is soft, it is gentle, and it is quiet, so you won't hear even if it's right behind you. But don't worry, it might be light, but it can lift 154 pounds. Not only will it do your dishes and your laundry.
And look at me, just about to go on a little diet. Nope. Let me hold my weight so I can make sure I can't get picked up by no robot.
And terrorize your family, but it will also be your companion. You can ask it questions, get instant access to knowledge, personalized intelligence, or even a joke. Here's a kicker. shares jokes, stories, and games for lively, natural conversations. And if that's not creepy enough for you, if you wanted to do anything more complex that it can't handle, an employee, a person who works at the company, will be remotely controlling the robot. You try to make people feel a little better about that by saying that with the app, you can make certain rooms off limits and it will blur out your faces. So I guess if you trust them, that might make you feel a little better. Not only would you have to trust this thing, you also have to trust whoever is remotely operating it who can see and hear inside your home. Any takers? $20,000.
So I'm going to pay to have a random person at essentially what's a call center operate remotely and be all up in my house and in my business doing chores, I guess. And I bet you, even for the people who are considering technology like this to help them out around the house, I bet you there's gonna be a monthly subscription service. So we don't, and I've been seeing videos like that too. We don't own anything anymore. Even if you were brave enough to consider that robot assistant in your house, you're gonna pay a monthly service. You'll never really own it. And that's another thing where technology has gone too far. Everything is a subscription. Everything.
Did you know that if you have an Amazon Alexa device that it can see you without having a camera? I know it sounds impossible, it sounds crazy, but I just went down a really disturbing rabbit hole. Let's talk about it. So this whole thing started whenever I saw a TikTok of this mom having a really creepy experience with her Amazon Alexa device. She left the Alexa device in the room with her child at night and it started asking the child really suggestive questions. And that led me to read the comments, which is where things got even weirder. There were tons, and I mean tons of comments of people saying things like, "Oh, I think my Alexa can see me. My Alexa tells me to have a good shower, but how does it know that I'm about to take a shower if it can't see me?" And that is what led me down this super fucking crazy rabbit hole. So basically, your Alexa and maybe other devices can see you without a camera. And this is because of Wi-Fi. So if you don't know, there are Wi-Fi waves all around you. And whenever you're moving, whenever you're breathing, whenever you're doing anything, your body disturbs the Wi-Fi signals around you. So because these Wi-Fi signals are basically bouncing off of everything in your home, your couch, your walls, your furniture, etc., it is able to create an entire map of your home without a camera. So you can basically create a 3D hologram of any room using nothing but Wi-Fi signals. So there was a study done that basically proved that you can create a 3D holographic map of the inside of a building using nothing but Wi-Fi signal. And during these studies, they said that walls appeared transparent, almost like glass. You can map out an entire floor plan, you can see walls and a layout, just using a smartphone and a Wi-Fi signal. So I went digging on Amazon's webpage and found that their Echo devices do use some type of ultrasound combined with Wi-Fi signals to detect when someone's present. So I do want to clarify that some Echo devices do have cameras. And it says that it's just used for presence detection, but I want you guys to know that the underlying technology shows that it can be used for much more than that. So I really hope that's all it's being used for, but
Well, okay. I'm sure a lot of you probably knew that already. That is new to me. But I also have another theory about how Alexa is able to know what's going on around you. And that's the devices that do have cameras that you've signed in, like your phone and whatever other technology around the house that does have cameras. It's so funny that she mentioned have a good shower because probably TMI, but sometimes when I'm in the shower, I will set my phone up, and I know a lot of us do it, and I'll play like a video or something like that. I was catching up on some YouTube, and a ad came on for a shower slip mat. Now, first off, was I slipping and sliding in that shower? And they were like, "Oh, we need to advertise to her a grip mat so she don't fall." But second, it's like my phone absolutely knew I was in the shower because that was such a off ad to anything I've ever gotten before. So I'm like, oh yeah, my phone knows I'm in the shower. At this point, I'm just like, why even fight it? Because of course the phone knows I'm in the shower. Either it's hearing the water running or it's using the camera and the phone, or like she said, it's picking up on the phone knows I'm in the shower. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. We've talked about the camera in the Tesla, but technology in cars altogether is really getting out of hand to the point where you're going to be being marketed to in your car. You're probably going to be paying subscription services in your own vehicle. There's a lot you're not going to be allowed to do. You're not going to be in control of your vehicle anymore the way you were. Let's take a look at some videos.
You don't drive a brand new vehicle? This message is for you. The car market is about to implode. We're about to see a COVID 2.0 in regards to the car market, but it's a little bit reversed because nobody wants a new vehicle. Nobody wants a subscription vehicle. Nobody wants to be monitored. Nobody wants their face scanned. And with all the new AI technology things that are coming to where your vehicle could be potentially disabled, it could leave you on the road. There's a lot of people that are fearing that and they don't want their lives invaded. So they're keeping their vehicles. Not only that, but they are not able to afford car payments anymore with interest rates, with the price of vehicles. Nobody wants a new car. And that's why new cars are so heavily discounted. If you have an older vehicle, 25, 10 years old, hang on to it, ride it till the wheels fall off or close to, because these dealers are going to be offering, and they are offering you top dollar paid for your vehicle. And when you do sell it, I wouldn't buy anything brand new with all this subscription technology. I would buy another used one. The market is about to get wild.
There was allegedly some fires at some junkyards that may not have been accidental. They want the parts that can fix the old vehicles to be harder and harder, if not impossible to find, so that people are being forced into newer technology cars where they can be monitored, controlled, put on subscription. And I think if they can't push enough people off the road with not being able to fix their vehicles, then they're going to start putting litigation in place.
What if I told you that there was real patents for technology that transmits voices and sounds directly to your head? No headphones, no ears, and even a deaf person would be able to hear them. It's called voice-to-skull technology, or V2K, and depending on who you ask, it's either a misunderstood scientific topic or it's something much darker. Let's start with what's actually real. In the 1960s, Dr. Alan Frey was studying frequencies and radio signals, and he discovered the microwave auditory effect, naming it after himself, the Frey effect. And he found that if you send microwave frequencies and signals to somebody's brain, it can be perceived as voices and or sounds inside of your head. No external noise involved. Nobody around you knows that you are hearing this besides the person that is sending the signals to your brain. And yes, there are actual patents for this technology, mainly given to the United States military. The government has researched publicly non-lethal weapons, psychological warfare, and remote communication systems such as this. But of course, they claim that there is no illegal use of this going on, there is no transmission sent to its citizens, and nothing like mind control going on. But now we enter a big gray area, because science is there to back it up. There is military patents that have been given. There's military research. There's all these facts right there in front of us. And unfortunately, hearing voices is a big psychological issue. The question here isn't if this technology is real. It is real. But if you are psychologically hearing voices, how could you ever prove it was not psychological, it was technological? Finding out more and more every day that a lot of conspiracies we believe to be just theory are now true. So how are we ever going to tell the difference between this? The scariest part for me is knowing that not everything you hear comes from the outside. And everything inside of you may not be yours.
It looks like the common denominator here is a lot of technology is being used for some sort of control, whether it's physical control, mind control, financial control. There's some control involved, and technology essentially is going to put us in our place. But we're going to go ahead and end the video right there. I'm so glad you stuck with me. If you're still here, let me know in the comments. And if you decided that you like it here and you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe. Love you guys. I will see you in the next one.